Sister Caverness's eyes again scanned over the class. This time they locked onto Dusty with reptilian precision. He was watching a row of ants make their way across the ceiling, down a wall, and out through a gap under the window by his desk. He imagined them dancing along as they sang some ancient insectoid shanty. He hadn't noticed, but at some point he'd begun humming his own rendition to himself as they bumped and bobbed along.
"I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Fontenot. Is the tale of our very salvation not entertaining enough for you?"
Her lips snapped so tight against her teeth, Dusty thought they might split.
"We have to ask ourselves, child, are we a villager or a forest dweller?"
Her face burned with indignation. Dusty began to imagine her tearing open the wrinkled visage, revealing some horrible screeching monster underneath, but he was able to set it aside for the time being.
"I'm sorry, sister. I was just thinking about the ants. Just look at them go, serving their queen dutifully. We could all stand to be a little more like ants, I'd say."
She narrowed her gaze, but didn't push the issue.
"Why don't we keep our attention on the lesson at hand, shall we?" Of course. I'm sorry, Sister Caverness."
The aged rectress carried on, edifying the word of Ophelia story by story. She spoke of her graciousness and beauty, though there was never a true depiction of her likeness. A mention of a curved horn here, a sharp tooth there, but nothing concrete. There was only benevolence and praise. When the 2-hour sermon had been conducted, the children were released from class to continue their chores about town. Christopher stayed in his seat while the other children filed out in a line. He waited until they were all gone before he stood up, his trousers now visibly damp. He covered himself up with his satchel as he made his way back home.
"Hey, Topher, wait up!"
Dusty shouted. He came jogging up from behind an outcropping of trees where he had been naming frogs.
"You all right?"
He put his arm around his younger brother's shoulder.
"Old Cavern Tits was pretty rough on you in there." "Yeah, I'm okay, Dust, thanks."
He wiped away a leftover tear from the corner of his eye.
"She's right, though. I should have been ready for class instead of collecting these stupid rocks. Now look at me."
He gestured to the crotch of his pants.
"I look like a baby."
Dusty frowned for a moment, but a huge smile erupted from somewhere underneath. He slapped his brother on the back and started to slip out of his trousers.
"Here, take these. We're going to need to get yours cleaned up before Mama gets back from Mass. Besides, that ain't what a baby looks like."
He pulled his long shirt between his legs and tied it in the front. "This," he held his arms out to the side and wobbled forward drunkenly,
"is what a baby looks like."
He slapped his knee, laughing. Topher couldn't help but laugh with his brother. He put on Dusty's discarded pants and asked,
"Why does Ophelia make me forget things all the time? Like peeing before school?"
Dusty cocked his head at his brother's question.
"Make you forget? What makes you think she cares when you pee? If anything, she cares more about if you're going to name them rocks or just look at them. Listen, why don't we sneak into Sister Caverness's office tonight? We can move everything from the left side of a desk to the right side, and everything from the right side to the left."
Dusty's jaw hung open, waiting for his little brother's praise.
Topher smiled. I don't know, Dust. It's not worth it. What would Ophelia think?"
Dusty feigned punching his brother in the shoulder, but instead swept his feet out from under him and pushed him backwards into a nearby bush.
"Who cares? Besides, as your elder, you have to do what I say."
He took off sprinting towards their home, yelling,
"Race you home. Last one there's a soggy tomato." "Wait, that don't count,"
Topher shouted from the depths of the shrub, feet still over his head.